Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of the Marvel Legends series Strange Tales Blackheart Build-A-Figure wave. Now, I initially ordered just 2 figures from this wave. The Weapons of Vengeance Wolverine as Ghost Rider, or Hellverine as he's also known, and the Moon Knight figure, which is super cool. The rest of them I was able to pick up on Black Friday, which just happened a few days ago. And so I'm going to go through them. I'm going to show you them. I'm going to show you them out of the package. But I'm probably not going to do articulation because there's 7 of them. But I'm definitely going to build that Blackheart figure. Blackheart was a character that I came to know from Hearts of Darkness. It was a prestige format book that came out, and it had Wolverine, the Punisher, and the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider in there, all against him. And it wasn't a mini-series or anything. It dropped. It was one complete story. It was big. It was Howard Mackey wrote it. It had John Romita Jr.'s art with Klaus Janson inking. Klaus Janson, inks Frank Miller, and John Romita Jr. is just a legend, and Howard Mackey's amazing. So it was a great, great read. It was back in 1991. It was a long time ago. 30, 40 years? 30? At least 30 years ago. So it was a long time ago, but it was really good. So I was excited to get Blackheart and put them all together. But the Hellverine and the Moon Knight were a great surprise. Dracula has grown on me. I don't know if I keep him, but Dracula has had run-ins with just about everybody in the Marvel Universe. I think he's just kind of a really cool character, a key character. And he comes with the deep red armor. He has 2 portraits, one vamped out, one not. He's got the really cool sword. I don't know if the sword has any sort of power also, but it does come with a piece of Blackheart. Also, Brother Voodoo, who is very cool looking here. Brother Voodoo did some time as Sorcerer Supreme. I think a few years ago, he was Sorcerer Supreme, and then while Doctor Strange was dead, and then this could be the Sorcerer Supreme version of Dr. Voodoo. He looks like he is... Yeah, it just looks like he is the... Yeah, because he's got the Eye of Agamotto and the cape, and he's got sort of the designs of the... I think this is the Brother Voodoo from his time as Sorcerer Supreme, when Doctor Strange was either depowered or dead. I can't remember which one. I can't remember if he just lost the mantle or he died, because he's done both recently. Weapon of Vengeance, because I guess Hellverine would not sell well in a store. So Weapon of Vengeance is very cool. He's got, of course, it's a Wolverine body. It's a regular, normal Wolverine body, but with flame claws and flame skull. Oh, the adamantium skull with the flames and the claw fire. It's just badass. And this is a pretty recent creation as far as the character goes. It's a really easy repaint, as far as all we need is a head sculpt and some extra stuff on the claws, and then we can let this go again as Weapon of Vengeance. So it makes complete sense from a reuse standpoint, but it's such a new character that whenever they release a new character and it comes out this fast, you think, oh my gosh, that's pretty quick. I think they did that with one other character once where I thought, wow, this character came out super fast. Daimon Hellstrom, also known as Son of Satan, but you can't say Son of Satan on a box, just like you can't say Hellverine on this other box. You can't sell it in more sort of conservative places. This place would, or Son of Satan on a box would get you on the news. It would get you on the news so fast. It would be crazy. So that is Daimon Hellstrom. Moon Knight. Moon Knight has the gold highlights. That's the difference between him and the other versions we've gotten. We've gotten a modern all white and we've gotten a classic all white, but we have not gotten the white with the gold on it. Of course, very cool Blackheart portrait in there. Very nice artwork. I'm not sure who does that. Moon Knight's series kind of goes and starts over and goes and starts over every few months, so it's hard to sort of pin down who's doing what. Marvel's Lilith, because maybe there's other Liliths. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what her deal is. I don't remember Lilith at all. But just a really cool character, the head with the split. There's one body, no split. Looks like there's a swivel under the rib cage. Again, I won't get into articulation, but I'm trying to figure out if this body is super old or if it's... I mean, there's no double pins in the knees or in the arms, it looks like. So it's newer, but who is newer that doesn't have a waist swivel? There's no break in there. There could be some. I don't know, obviously, right now, but... And I probably won't know when we open it either, but... Bloodstorm! Now, Bloodstorm? That does sound like a gross name. You're like, what? You can't do Helverine and you can't do Son of Satan. I'm like, yeah, those are biblical, but Bloodstorm is not really sort of something, that's in the Bible or anything. So you're probably okay there. They look really cool. But let's break them out and see what we think about them in person. Let's put Blackheart all together. Okay, now that they're all out of their packages and in some cases completely assembled, let's go over the Marvel Legends series Strange Tale Blackheart Build-A-Figure wave. Let's start with Helverine, also known as, of course, Weapon of Vengeance. Helverine, probably not good to say in a store. First, he came with these, which were on in the package. The only complaint that I would have is the adamantium is here. It'd have been cool to see the adamantium in the claws. But as I say that, somebody's got to be pouring light through these, making these glow. And that's awesome too, except that it's not realistic because, the adamantium would come out. It's not that his powers are spiritual or anything. They're physical. And the physical manifestations are adamantium. And the skull is adamantium, so why would that... Just like Ghost Rider has a ghost skull, Wolverine has a skull also, but that's pure adamantium. But God, look at that thing. It looks amazing. I bet it looks really cool with some light pouring through it. Standard body, brown and tan, which is always a welcome addition. A little bit darker yellow or tan than I think that I'm used to, but looks really cool. I haven't lined it up with the comic book version, but like I said, the Helverine is a fairly recent creation. I think was only created maybe last year, and now it has its own mini-series and everything else. But it's super cool. It's just a great, there's a little light showing through that eye. That's very cool. And that is Weapons of Vengeance, Weapon of Vengeance, rather, aka Helverine. Now let's talk about Moon Knight. Moon Knight comes with the giant bow staff as normal. He has the gold bracelets, the belt, and of course the highlights around the leg. I don't know what you'd call these. The cool moon logo. Of course, the hood that goes right over the eyes. The hood doesn't seem to have any give to it. The cape wraps around here. And I'm using his cape to help him stand up. But the cape is cool. It's the white on the outside, black on the inside. It makes Moon Knight stand out more. The black sort of gives him a nice background. Whereas before, if it was completely white, it kind of washed him out a little bit. I didn't object to it. It was comic book accurate, but the black is super cool. Moon Knight comes with more gear than I think even Brother Voodoo had 6 pieces of gear. So this is two more because of the bow staff. He has the Ankh, and I can't remember I know he was holding this on the cover of some issues. 2 fists. I have grabby hands in his hands right attached to him right now. A large crescent and 3 small crescents. It'd be cool if there was a place to put the small crescents, like little brackets on his bracers or anything where he could kind of carry it, or maybe little pockets in his belt where you could have them sticking out. I'm not sure. The little ones aren't big enough for him to hold, so I'm not sure what their purpose is. The big ones are a little awkward in his grip, so I don't know if the big one is meant for that grip size or not. He has butterfly joints, which are real hidden, but they're there, and that's very cool for Moon Knight. And that is Moon Knight. Next up is Daimon Hellstrom, aka the Son of Satan. Looks amazing. The eyes have sort of a kind of a mascara look to make his eyes look a little more sinister, make them look a little more like they're evil. He also has the I don't know what you would call it. Not a pentagram, because I think that's right side up, but upside down it's something else. I can't remember. I don't remember my Dungeons and Dragons like I should. And also there's got to be something that is called maybe the pentacle. Maybe it's a pentacle. I'm not sure what this is up above the pentacle. It looks like a misprint, or it could be dead on. I can't remember enough about Son of Satan to remember if that's bad paint or that's meant to be there. I'm not entirely sure. The trident, accurate, very cool. Looks a little like Namor's. It could be Namor's. He had a trident. I'm just not sure if that's completely accurate. After I said, yes, that's accurate. I'm not sure. He's got pants and of course no shoes for the Son of Satan, because why would he have shoes? He's the Son of Satan. Belt, very cool. It's a very cool figure. If you're into Son of Satan or Daniel Hellstrom, and you just want to add him to your collection, even if he has the kind of the misprint. I'm not sure if it's a misprint. There's a little bit of paint here. Now that I look at it a little bit closer, it does look like it's on purpose. Both the sort of wispy, kind of smoky thing here, and this also kind of looks like it's meant to be there. So I'm not sure exactly what it is or what it's supposed to be, but if it's on purpose, it's very cool. If it's a misprint, shame on you, Hasbro. And that is Son of Satan. Before I move on, I should tell you that Daimon Hellstrom also comes with an extra fist and an extra grabby hand. I think he came with 2 grabby hands on, and I replaced one of them with one of the fists. So the total you get are 2 fists and 2 grabby hands. Brother Voodoo looks like an absolute badass. He's got power effects for both of his hands. He also comes with extra hands. So right now he has sort of a grabby hand, another grabby hand, but he has sort of a clawing hand and a fist. It's very cool. Got lots of stuff. He's got his staff. And he's got, of course, the energy here, but he's got the cool waist sash that sort of has a mind of its own over here. The skulls on his belt, super cool. The paint, the cloak, and the Eye of Agamotto. I'm pretty sure that's from his time as Sorcerer Supreme. And the cool, like, kind of Punisher skull paint over how part of his face. The hair looks really good. The cape is real stiff. It's good if you want to crouch him a little bit and have the cape support him, but he seems to stand up real well on his own also. And that is Brother Voodoo. Lilith is a complete mystery to me. I don't remember if I've read anything with Lilith in it. It's a very cool costume design. Has the sort of the fishnets. Fishnets sort of from the neck to the shoulders, but not over the chest for some reason, and fishnets on her legs, like Black Canary. Silver boots, which is very cool. She has a green cape that came attached in the package, but was real easy to plug in. And also, if you wanted to plug it in, I plugged it in under her hair. But if you wanted to do it through her hair, there's a hole that lines up with the peg in her back, and she could have the cloak sort of coming out of her hair, but I thought that would look weird, and I was right because I tried it, and it was weird. She comes with 2 extra hands. Of course, she has 1 motioning hand in already, 1 fist in already, so 2 motioning hands, 2 fists in total. The hair is see-through. I don't know if that comes out very well, but it's absolutely see-through, and the cool detailing in the face and the sculpting. So it has sort of the split in the middle and the hair, sort of the ghostly hair sort of coming out, and she has earrings, and the makeup is creepy. Like I said, I'm not familiar with this character at all, but it is a cool addition, as most of this line is villains or people who sort of are anti-heroes. And Lilith, I think is a villain. I think if she was a hero, I would have read about her in Avengers or something. Or one of those books. She would have shown up and helped the heroes or something. But I haven't seen her before. But that is Lilith. Now let's talk about Bloodstorm. Bloodstorm is a character that I thought, I don't really want. I know Jubilee did a little bit of time as a vampire. It would have been cool just for the hell of it if this figure... It's cool that they can have 2 heads. One that's not vamped out and one that is. And one that's a little bit, calmer hair-wise and smoothed out. And one that's sort of untamed and more kind of wild windswept mohawk. That's cool. It would have been cool to include like an extra head. Maybe a Jubilee vampiric head. That would have been cool. So that you could customize your Jubilee figure and turn her into a vampire also. I'm not sure if, what happened to her or, how she got cured or anything else. I know she's run into Dracula a couple times. I mean, it happened during the very early issues of Chris Claremont's run. I can't say very early. I don't think it was early at all. I can't remember when, maybe that was Dr. Doom I'm thinking about. Anywho, she comes with 2 gesturing wind weather hands and, of course, 2 sort of claw-like hands. Like she's going to hurt you with them. Hurt you with her hands. But she comes with... but the belt is very cool. The outfit is really cool and dangerous. Really daring for Storm, but not for a vampiric Storm. Cool gray pants. The end in the boots with the heels. It's very cool. It's just a different look for Storm and one that we're not accustomed to seeing. So having it in the line at all is a really cool thing to have. So I'm happy with it. And that is Storm. What I said about Storm goes double for Dracula. He has the regular expression as well as the vampiric expression. What I said about Storm goes double for Dracula. He has the non-vampiric look, which is real cool. And then he has the fanged out look, which is really cool. He comes with 2 fists. I don't know if these were on him and I took them off. But he does have the 2 fists. But I left the grippy hand and the claw hand. I guess those were the ones that it came with. He's also balancing on his cape a little bit. I couldn't stand him up, so I used the cape as sort of a cheap, or sorry, not a cheap, but a cheat. And the tatters of it, I can't remember. I don't know how much stuff I've read with Dracula, and I know there was kind of a thing with Dracula, at least with Blade in them. Just real recently, the Blood Hunt or something like that. And I haven't read it. I haven't gotten the trade paperback yet, but I ordered it, but I have not read it. So it could be Dracula's all over that thing. And this is just good timing. But it's cool. He's got the sword, the scabbard, not the scabbard, but the hilt of it is real cool. The way that it sort of has sort of a sawing, sort of says, hey, I don't just slice through things, I will slowly cut through something too. And that is way more terrifying. The armor itself is really awesome. I really like this look. I know that there's a vampire underneath, but that thing is just really super, armored up, and would look good maybe with a different head. Maybe a customizer could do something with it and turn it into a Dungeons and Dragons character, or their own Dungeons and Dragons character, maybe. Customizers? Show me if you've done it in the comments below. I super want to know now. But that is Dracula. Last but not least, and the only reason I got the entire wave, well, I got the Helfring because that was my favorite, but it didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece, is the Build-A-Figure Blackheart. Now, it was assembled by putting Moon Knight, Bloodstorm, Lilith, Dracula, Daimon Hellstrom, and Brother Voodoo's parts together. And it was hard to put him together because his parts are sharp. So, exercise caution. But I left two sort of broad gestures. Put one sort of gesturing finger, extra hand with a gesturing finger and a fist. So I didn't put those on, but they're there if you need them. As far as putting him together, I don't know if you can see it. Let me make it bigger. All of his little spikes are really sharp. It hurt in places to put this guy together. His legs have little spikes. He has little spikes. This is not for children to put together. But it's also, if you have the Build-A-Figure pieces, but you're not putting the whole thing together, the little kids could be like, oh, I'm going to plug this arm into some other figure, and they're going to have to, put some pressure on it, and they're going to go, ow, this is hurty. I don't like this at all. But I love that portrait of Blackheart. Looks just like a John Romita Jr. drawing. Except, of course, a John Romita Jr. drawing is so much more sort of all out, where you're like, oh my God, the hair never ends. It's like a thicket of stuff. And this obviously doesn't, but it's got such good articulation, butterfly joints and ab crunch and all of the normal articulation of a Marvel Legends figure. It's got a cool kind of light gray, almost black, and the hair is just a little bit of different. The eyes are blood red. The face just expressionless. The tail has wire in it, so you can bend it and you can shape it, and that's a really nice touch. And it's attached to the butt, so it doesn't come out that I know of. It came in one piece, I think with Bloodstorm or Lilith. I can't remember. It came with one of them. Balancing him on his tiptoes was really, really difficult, and I used his tail for help because I couldn't quite find the center of gravity for him, or the sort of the point where he would stand up. And I tried my best to do that, and I thought about going to an action figure stand, and then I thought, I don't really remember where I put the action figure stands, so let's not do that. And that is Blackheart, the 8th figure in the Build-A-Figure wave that was the Marvel Legends series Strange Tales wave. These figures were awesome, and a lot of them haven't been out before. And I know Daimon Hellstrom has a little bit of a heat because he was supposed to come out with the Hellcharger HasLab, and that didn't go, but they still released the figure, and that's a really nice touch. I hope that they consider doing that with the other figures, and it looks like they're just waiting for more appropriate times to release each of them in different waves, but it takes a little bit of pressure off them because they've already sort of made the molds and everything else, and everything's ready to go. So hopefully we're going to get those figures sooner or later. And of course, Ramen Toys did an amazing job with the I can't remember what they were calling their thing, but it was awesome. And so I hope that you can get these guys. They should be, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be December or something, and there'll probably be sales maybe right after Christmas, and hopefully you guys can pick these up at a substantial discount. They're worth it. Blackheart is worth it if you are a fan. I wouldn't say that I'm a fan, but I love that Hearts of Darkness story. I love having I now have a Daniel Ketch Ghost Rider that's awesome. I got that with the bike this year. Got a great brown and tan Wolverine. I've got a great Punisher, and I can have them go at this guy. So until next time, enjoy your toys.